Yeah, you know who it is, and for those of you that don't, I'm Cytonius, the opposite of the phoniest. Oh. And if you grew up in the 90s and loved martial arts films, then you have to know who this is. That was the greatest 90s teen martial arts action movie star of all time that you probably never heard of. T.J. Roberts is what happens when you take Jonathan Taylor Thomas and mix him with Bruce Lee. The 90s was an interesting era for martial arts movies in America. The 90s is the decade that American martial arts films kinda died out. Theatrically released martial arts movies like The Perfect Weapon, Surf Ninjas, and Sidekicks all bombed at the box office. And while we had martial artists like Jean-Claude Van Damme and Steven Seagal as box office successes, their biggest films in the 90s weren't really martial arts films. And yes, we had the first two Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies and the first Mortal Kombat, which were all successful martial arts films of the 90s. But I actually consider those a bit of an anomaly, mainly because they had the advantage of being based on franchises that were already popular. So with the lack of mainstream interest in martial arts movies, where can a genre with a massive cult following go? Straight to video. Enter PM Entertainment. PM Entertainment was an independent film production and distribution company that was founded by Joseph Mary and Richard Pepin. The P and the M is the first initial of their last names. Clever. PM Entertainment was created to piggyback off of the rising popularity of the schlock film home video market of the 1980s. They would build their reputation on making cheap, low-quality action movies with a splash of
Anna, Nicole, Smith, Skyscraper.
With the success of movies like Home Alone and Three Ninjas, PM Entertainment would dip into the kids' film market with the movie The Magic Kid, which would be the on-screen film debut of Ted Jan Roberts. Wait, let me back up for a minute. Who is T.J. Roberts? Well, T.J. Roberts was actually born Ted Gilroy on September 24th, 1979 in San Diego, California. The name Ted Jan Roberts was a stage name created by his father and the legendary late martial arts stunt coordinator, Pat Johnson. The name Jan is a reference to his mother's first name, and Roberts is a reference to his father's middle name. T.J. Roberts would start his martial arts training at the age of 7 with intentions of being the next martial arts movie superstar. TJ would train in Taekwondo under the legendary Darren Kikuchi, who was the founder of the California-based Freestyle Martial Arts School and a student of the legendary Ernie Reyes Sr. TJ would also train with well-respected martial artists like Mark Dacascos and Stephen Ho, aka the stunt performer for Donatello from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze, and the 1993 sequel. Stephen Ho was also Chan, the brother of Liu Kang, in the 1995 Mortal Kombat movie. Under the guidance of his father, Richard Ortega, who was a black belt under Chuck Norris, T.J. Roberts would be cultivated, developed, and guided towards a career in Hollywood. A natural showman and performer, T.J. would do mall performances for money prior to breaking into the industry, and this would spark the flame for his journey as a professional actor. TJ would start his acting career in 1992 on the TV series Married with Children in the season 7 episode called Every Bundy Has a Birthday. He would follow that up in 1993 with a guest appearance on the CBS Burt Reynolds sitcom Evening Shade.
Thank you for my dress, Daddy.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for that dress, man.
We're trying to let Molly make her own decisions.
All right, you two kids get together for a picture. Unless you're about to lose it, in which case I'll take yours first.
Hey, Tina. Looking good, babe.
While TJ's appearances on television and commercials would be a great starting point for his career in entertainment, it would be the straight-to-home video martial arts movie film genre where he would find his place. At the age of 13, he would sign a multi-picture film deal with PM Entertainment and be the youngest actor on the film studio's payroll. In 1993, he would star in The Magic Kid, which would also star film and television actor Stephen Furst, who's best known for appearing in the 1978 film Animal House as Flounder, and on the long-running television series St. Elsewhere as Dr. Elliot Axelrod. The Magic Kid would focus on Kevin Ryan, an 11-year-old martial arts prodigy played by T.J. Roberts, who idolizes Don the Dragon Wilson. Kevin and his older sister Megan, who was played by retired 80s and 90s actress Shonda Whipple, spend the summer with their Uncle Bob, who's a down-on-his-luck alcoholic with a gambling problem who owes the mafia $10,000. The Magic Kid would be a moderate success on home video and get a theatrical release in the Philippines under the name Ninja Sidekick. Because of the film's success on the home video market, we would get a sequel, The Magic Kid 2, in 1994. The sequel tries to do a bit more in terms of drama, acting, and plot, with a story that revolves around Kevin, still played by T.J. Roberts, wanting to focus on school and a normal life as a teenager, while an evil movie studio executive just wants him to make movies. Unlike the first film, the sequel would be written and directed by Stephen Furst, who would fill the movie with cameos from old cast members from St. Elsewhere, including Howie Mandel, Jennifer Savage, David Morse, and the one and only
Mr. Feeney? Mr. Feeney! Mr. Feeney! Mr. Feeney! Feeney! I'm saying, Feeney! Feeney!
Unfortunately, Denzel Washington doesn't make a cameo. Other well-known actors who would have major roles in the movie would be Donald Gibb, aka Ray Jackson from Bloodsport and Ogre from Revenge of the Nerds, and Dana Barron from National Lampoon's Vacation and Beverly Hills 90210. TJ's next movie would be the 1994 action drama, A Dangerous Place.
It was a time when all you had to worry about was school, having fun, and being a part of the in crowd.
The only thing those guys will teach you is how to be a jerk.
Well, if they're such jerks, how come all the best-looking girls in school hang out with the Scorpions?
You gotta pass a little test.
Fire in there, too! Let's go! Come on!
It was a time to choose sides.
Never turn on your friends.
It was a time to grow up.
Scorpions?
They're a karate team. Greg had been spending a lot of time with them.
Suck it up. Clear your mind. If you don't defend yourself, you're gonna feel more pain.
I'm gonna find out what happened. I want to become a Scorpion. I'm leaving the dojo.
Revenge is just the dark side of honor.
Let's see what you got.
I don't want you to see that. Detective Jacobs thinks that they know something about Greg's death.
We've perfectly covered our tracks. We're friends with his little brother.
I'm tougher than I look.
Nice job, little man.
What are you doing, man? We don't need that. Don't tell me what I need.
I don't trust him.
Is that what you have to do? 2 assaults in 2 days?
High school can be a dangerous place. guidance. I need backup.
The plot of the film is about a young teenage martial artist named Ethan, played by T.J. Roberts, whose older brother is killed by a group of teenage criminal karate students. The movie would feature what would be, for the time, an all-star cast, with actors like Dick Van Patten from the TV show 8 is Enough, Aaron Gray from Buck Rogers and Silver Spoons, the late great Mako, and Corey Feldman in a rare villain role. To most people, this is just another Karate Kid ripoff. But in my opinion, I feel like PM Entertainment was trying to do something unique with the teenage karate tournament subgenre. Rather than making another shallow action movie, A Dangerous Place was aiming to be a bit more intense and a bit more dramatic. And I can respect that. In fact, a thing that many people don't mention about T.J. Roberts' film career was how multifaceted and genre-bending it really was. His filmography included elements from everything from comedy, action, martial arts, and mysticism. And one of the best examples of this is the 1995 film, The Power Within.
These rings must be split up and never again worn by the same man.
Stan Dreyer never knew about the mystic power of the two rings.
It selected you as its bearer.
Until one found him. Now, at the crossroads of his life, Stan Dreyer will learn about strength, courage, and the power within.
Let me tell you what kind of powers that ring has. $5 million. That's what I paid Raymond Vaughn to steal it.
But to the thief, the ring is worth much more than that.
I will have your brother, and together we will reign supreme.
Stan rules a fantasy world where everything is going great. While in the real world, finding the nerve to ask for a date and fighting off the school bully are his biggest problems.
With the ring, you will experience power greater than ever imagined.
There's a responsibility that comes with your abilities.
Hey, Sandy, would you like to go to the prom with me?
You're dead meat, Dry.
It's the proper use of power that's important.
Yes. All of a sudden, I have all this power and confidence.
And much bigger problems.
Vaughn is in search of the other ring to abuse its power. You must make sure he never acquires it.
Your son was arrested tonight for the assault on 20 men.
What is this, some kind of joke?
It's not a joke.
Come on, take the cuffs off him. Stanley, what are you doing?
Stop that shit!
But they can't keep Stan from his destiny and discovering the power within.
The Power Within is what happens when you mix elements of Green Lantern with The Karate Kid. With a cast that includes well-respected actors like Karen Valentine and Keith Coogan, and martial artists like Gerald Okamura, the late great Michael De Pasquale Jr., and a cameo from Don the Dragon Wilson, The Power Within would be TJ's most epic and occultish film up to that point. What most people probably remember about this film is the villain, Raymond Vaughn, who was played by Johnny Lawrence himself, William Zabka. TJ's final martial arts film with PM Entertainment would be 1996's Tiger Heart.
Tiger Heart. Tiger Heart, starring Ted Jan Roberts.
TJ would co-produce the film with his father, Richard G. Ortega, who, at the time, went under the pseudonym Bob Roberts. Tiger Heart would be a teenage romance, martial arts action movie that would be directed by award-winning Lebanese filmmaker, Georges Chamchom. Oh, damn. Okay, then. I wasn't expecting that. The plot of the film is that a teenage martial artist named Eric, played by TJ Roberts, takes on a gang of thugs who work for a real estate developer who's trying to force a lower-class community out of their neighborhood so he can build a mall. Eric meets a beautiful girl named Stephanie, played by Jennifer Lyons, whose uncle is being extorted by the gang. The two teenagers fall in love, but, more importantly, TJ Roberts kicks some ass. Tiger Heart would be the last martial arts film TJ Roberts would ever make. He would finish out his contract with PM Entertainment and transition into what would be his most career-defining role.
Ecto phase activate!
1995's Masked Rider would be the first American adaptation of the Japanese tokusatsu series, Kamen Rider. Masked Rider would act as a spin-off of the third season of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Saban would produce Masked Rider with hopes that it would piggyback off the popularity of Power Rangers. But due to the declining popularity of the series, all connections to Power Rangers were removed so that the series could stand on its own. Masked Rider was directly adapted from Kamen Rider Black RX, which was the 9th season of the franchise. The show would also use footage from the series Kamen Rider Zeo and Kamen Rider J. Masked Rider would be a complete departure from the source material. While Kamen Rider Black RX would be much darker and intense, with an emphasis on action, Masked Rider would be more of a suburban teen family sitcom with small bits of action. The major mistake Saban made with Masked Rider was that it didn't really showcase the incredible martial arts skills of its lead actor, TJ Roberts. Due to complaints about the violence and martial arts fights of the first 2 seasons of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Masked Rider will be incredibly toned down in terms of martial arts action and lean more into comedy. Unfortunately, this would work against the series, and Masked Rider would be the first major failure of the Saban American Tokusatsu Super Sentai experiment. The show would be canceled after 1 season, and no other Kamen Rider shows would be adapted for American television until 2008's Kamen Rider Dragonite. I'll talk about that show in another video at another time. After the cancellation of Masked Rider, TJ Roberts would return to PM Entertainment for one last project, 1997's Hollywood Safari. The film would focus on a family of animal trainers who have to save one of their lions who escapes captivity and is blamed for the death of a teenage boy. This film would be a departure from his typical martial arts action movies and be more of a nature-themed adventure family movie. In 1998, Hollywood Safari would spin off into a TV show that ran for 1 season on Animal Planet that would also feature TJ Roberts. After the cancellation of Hollywood Safari, TJ Roberts would disappear from the movie industry. Despite what many people expected, TJ didn't transition into the martial arts action movie industry as an adult. In fact, he did the opposite. He went out of his way to separate himself from his teen karate movie star past. TJ would retire from the martial arts action movie genre and keep a low profile during the new millennium. He would spend the early to mid 2000s under the mentorship of critically acclaimed movie director Gus Van Sant. And he would even appear in Van Sant's Oscar award-winning biographical film, Milk, about the late gay rights activist Harvey Milk. TJ would appear in the film as political activist Dennis Peron. TJ Roberts would move to New York and connect with the New York independent film scene. He would be represented by the Backstage Talent Agency. He would make several unreleased indie films, including Gary Gless, the 2015 short film Heart and Hall, and 2017's Room 138. So now the question arises, where is Ted Jan Roberts now? How does a well-loved 90s film and television actor just disappear? Well, according to many people close to him, TJ was a very private person. When he wasn't auditioning or working on film projects, he worked as a bike messenger in Brooklyn. But that doesn't answer the question of what happened to him. That answer would lie with one man, TJ's father, Richard G. Ortega. So I started working on this video project around 2022. Around the same time, I heard rumors of his death. While nothing had been officially announced or reported by any pop culture news sites, a man on Facebook who had TJ Roberts in his profile picture announced the passing of his only son, Ted. After much doubt and speculation from myself and TJ's fans and former cast members, it would be revealed by a Reddit user who would confirm that the man on Facebook would indeed be TJ's father. Ted Jan Roberts would pass away on June 6, 2022, with very little media attention. TJ's death wouldn't even be confirmed until 2025, 3 years after his passing. While fans of TJ have questions regarding the cause of his death, I just want to say, it doesn't matter how he died. What matters is the impact that he had on a generation of kids and teenagers who grew up with his movies. The passing of TJ Roberts would be a tragedy on so many different levels. He would be a pioneer of the teen action martial arts movie genre, a genre that didn't really exist before him. While we did have the legendary and equally underappreciated Ernie Reyes Jr., Ernie Reyes Jr. was mostly a supporting actor and didn't have many projects where he was front and center. TJ Roberts would be a major inspiration to a generation of 90s kids to get involved in the martial arts. He would also be the predecessor to much of what we see now with teen-based martial arts action shows and movies, and young martial artists on social media. He was very much ahead of his time. Just think of how amazing it would have been to see TJ pop up in an episode of Cobra Kai. While he might not have been a mainstream household name, he was definitely a magic kid with the power within and the heart of a tiger. Rest in peace, TJ Roberts, the real Karate Kid.
Yeah, because I used to love watching Ted Dan Roberts movies, the Magic Kid. And whatever happened to him? Where is he? Nobody knows about him.
You know, nope, he just fell off the face of the earth. I never, the guy had an amazing career. I mean, he was groomed to be what he was doing. I mean, I'm telling you, man, he had every day he had martial arts classes, gymnastic classes, acting classes. And then he would, go on diet. I mean, the guy was just, at 15, my God, he was destined for this.